Welcome. You are at the CCC.
Where there are no outside issues. My name's Anthony. I'm an addict and alcoholic. Another bozo on the bus with the stuff he knows today, and I care about it.
Yes, and I'm LouiLou or Lewis, and my pronouns are he and him. And I'm recovering for crystal meth and alcohol, and I am always in search of balance.
And my name is Jordan. I'm an addict, always trying to make good choices.
Yes, and each week we strive to foster a brave space. We can engage in conversations centered around topics of recovery.
Yes, and our intention is to hold and inspire better spaces for more people in recovery by tackling issues that used to separate us.
Yes, but before we do that, please like, share, comment, subscribe, say what you want.
Say what you need.
Absolutely.
Say what you don't need. Don't do it. And another disclaimer, the thoughts and opinions expressed on At the CCC are ours alone. We do not represent anyone but ourselves. In other words, we're just a couple of friends behind a mic here to entertain you. And of course, everything we talk about is for general information purposes only.
Okay.
Really working that stuffy nose.
I know. It's like,
It makes me a better person. How is everyone?
I'm good. It's like, I'll rest it. Happy New Year again.
Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah.
New Year, same me.
Same me, too.
New Year, same me.
Waka, waka, waka.
Waka waka. Was that your response?
That was my response.
Oh, same year.
Yeah,
same
it's
year,
straightforward. It's like, I'm all. Do you guys make New Year's resolutions?
No, absolutely.
Yeah, not neither do I.
No,
I do.
no.
I
not
do
going to make a promise I'm going to break.
I know exactly. I do because that fucks with you. But I do intentions all year. I just do my intention. My intention for the day. Like yeah.
Okay.
I was at dinner with some fellows.
Yeah.
And we went around and said what we're leaving behind in the year and what we're bringing to the year, which I think is a cute little way around that.
Well, that's cool. What friends were you with?
Not you.
Oh, it's like, it's okay. I see how this goes. You know,
It was his imaginary friends.
I know exactly. He was
And they were
He was at a table by himself.
Okay, everyone.
Best conversation I've ever had.
What are we leaving?
What are we leaving?
What are we bringing? What are we bringing forward? So everyone, we're continuing our 12-step series that is inspired by the 12 steps and not the 12 steps themselves. If you're just listening to this episode outside of the series, go back, listen to the other ones.
Please do. I've been doing that.
Yeah, they're pretty good and they build on each other. So we're moving along and we're at step 9, make direct amends whenever possible. And if you listen to our last episode, we were talking about listing those people out. Who are the people that you might feel like you need to make an amends with? And
Absolutely.
Those names came from step 4.
Yeah, and we were thinking step 8. One of the things that I got from and suggested that it's really pre-production. You know, so we get that list from step 4 and we add on to it, but we get ourselves ready for this step that sometimes scares people.
Okay, question. Is there a reason why that step 4 list is...
Sorry.
Jesus Christ. Is there a reason why step 4 is so far up in
Absolutely.
the 12 steps and then 9 is so far away from
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
it? Why?
Yeah, because you have to lay down the foundation, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So steps 1, 2, and 3 prepare you for 4, 5, and 6.
Exactly.
Right?
You know that getting honest, accepting that maybe you aren't the person that's going to, or you aren't the one who's going to kind of cure you of this. You need to get over yourself.
Right.
And step 3 being, like they say, okay, now I'm going to let somebody else do it. I'm going to acknowledge that there's something else out for me. Yeah. And so step 4, like you said, laying it out. But just because I am aware of it now, it doesn't mean that I'm ready to make any changes.
You also want distance from identifying like the things that stirred up a lot in you from the moment when you decide, oh my God, there's snot coming out my nose.
Oh my God! It's
so
like
you went
back to the body fluid.
So
welcome to the body fluid show.
So let's see. So there's 4 and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 5 steps away, right? So you want some distance between kind of looking at things for the first time,
yeah,
right, and how charged those things are. So you want that distance. And in that distance, you want to also be laying out the foundation for how are you interpreting that situation?
Yeah.
How are you approaching situations in general? So by the time you get to 9, but there generally are new behaviors and new ways of thinking
Absolutely.
about things.
And the practical part too is if you're not rushing through, steamrolling, because I think that there are some people that, I used to have sponsees, and even I was in the beginning. It's like, well, when are we going to get through this? I like to take my time. Let's take our time. It's like and it's a combination of this work and time, so that you are a different person. Because if you're still trying to clear, what is the acute withdrawal, like
Pause.
You still have some steps to get, like the 6 month, whatever.
That's right.
Like I'm still trying to clear myself of whatever.
I love that connection to the pause. So post-acute withdrawal syndrome, for people who may not be familiar with that. So when someone stops doing any kind of substance, depending on the substance, there's generally a timeline for what the aftermath of that looks like. Sometimes there can be kind of confusion or irritability and things like that. And so that's what Louis was talking about.
Absolutely. That's why I love having Anthony here, because it's like I'm all waka waka. You know the movie where the person was standing over by the gate.
You mean
that one? That's like I'm all. Can we talk? Can we take a moment and talk about Chris C? I believe it's Chris C who sent us. Fan mail.
Well, we didn't get. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, so we did get some fan mail. We don't usually read it on air, but Louis apparently wants to do that.
No. I just want to make sure that I get the name right. Yeah.
So we got some.
Yeah, Chris C. And I actually talked to him the other night.
Don't sleep with your fans. That's all I'm going to say, Louis.
No, I don't do that. But if we slept together before you became a fan, that's different. That's like...
Just read the goddamn message.
Okay, anyway, so it says, I really enjoyed today's podcast. I loved listening to Becky coach Anthony through his jealousy and when he realized his gratitude is the asset. I laughed so hard. Louis is always great, of course.
This is why you wanted to read it online. This is why. Because someone tickled your booty hole and you wanted to tickle it on air.
Oh, my God. Okay. In between the booty and my taint.
Go ahead.
I just found this show when I got home from Sunday night's meeting, and I already got through 6 episodes. Amazing, keep it up, and we really appreciate you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Shout out to Chris.
Yeah, shout out to Chris, and shout out to people who've been listening to us for a while. So you know how Spotify does the most listened to in the year or whatever, and so one of our listeners sent a screenshot showing that it was the #1 most listened to thing on their Spotify playlist. So let's get back to the topic.
Okay.
Shall we? Is there anything else you want to read?
You want to give out your number?
Yeah. A Groupon that might be in your Gmail account that you might want to read.
Okay.
So step 9 is answering the question, how do we repair when things have gone awry, right? And I think part of what's happening there is that we are acknowledging when we're doing step work, especially by the time we get to 9, is that sometimes harm can be relational.
Yeah.
And maybe that relationship is to yourself or it's to other people, but we're acknowledging that some harm was done. And we might be, for the first time, answering the question, how do we repair that harm? And I would just add to the second part of that is not just how do we repair that harm, but how do we repair that harm without re-traumatizing ourselves and hurting other people?
Absolutely.
And so that's the foundation of that. So, and I think that translates to people's lives in and outside of 12-step, right?
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Jordan, I felt like there was a question. I feel like you had a question that was going to inspire us all.
Not yet.
No?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you had something to say. So, I mean, in your experiences, have you maybe share a little bit about an experience where someone was trying to quote unquote make an amends and it was just clearly not that?
Oh,
like when someone's apologizing, but you're like, you're not really apologizing.
just want me to shut up. And
100%.
Yeah. So, any experience with that?
Honestly, it's like I've experienced it on both sides, but I think that the ones that stay with me it's when I'm doing it, when I'm thinking, oh, I just want no conflict. And so I'm going to just say sorry. even if I didn't mean it. Kind of like when I do that with you. No.
What?
I'm kidding.
You notice how I didn't have a reaction because I wasn't paying attention.
I know, exactly.
I was like,
He's like, all you hear is wah, 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 wah. No, there have been a lot of situations, and I feel completely justified in how like I move forward with it. Like I was like, you know what, it is not worth it.
Right.
It's not worth it to me, because I think that's a big part of the 9th step that I'm finally learning. It's like I need to, the men's, they're going to be for me, but I also need to figure out, do I value this relationship enough to do it?
right.
Because it's like, I want to do it, and maybe I don't. I think I talked about last time. There was this one relationship. I don't want there to be any kind of notion that there's an opening. I don't want there to be any reason for this person to think that we can maybe build on this. I want to acknowledge my wrongs, but I also, and in that's why it was a struggle in the beginning. It's like, and sometimes I just have to hold on to it until I figure out a healthy way to do it.
Right. And it's not, I think, and what I'm hearing in that too is that making an amends is not about confessions at all. It's about accountability. Mm-hmm. Right. And it's also not about relief, right? Like I don't get to absolve myself of guilt or bad feelings by dumping them on you.
Absolutely.
Right. And I love what you said about making sure they're like what did you say, that you're not leaving like an opening,
yeah.
Right? Because
it can, if you sometimes if you do that too soon, or if you do that and you're not really clear that you can give the person like, I feel like because I was able to sit down with a sponsor and talk about what my motives were and what my goal was with this, and really kind of, almost have my hand held through this, especially the tougher ones.
Right.
There were some that were so effortless and easy because it's like, it was just a reiteration, and an amends in some ways was already made.
That's right. And what we're trying to do by holding ourselves accountable is not seek relief, right? It's to repair, like either repair a wrong, and we do that repairing in a bunch of different ways, and we don't do it by like stirring shit up in somebody else's life.
Absolutely.
Okay, question now.
I love your
You're
question.
speaking to the mic, Jordan.
Go ahead.
My question is,
Yeah.
okay, I guess I've always viewed amends as just an apology to, and that benefiting me by getting it off my chest, right? So I guess my question is the difference between an amends and an apology.
Well, we're not talking about apologies today.
You can.
I'm just playing with you.
No, I think.
I know what. Yeah.
But I think that you can. The thing with the amends is I am amending the behavior. I'm changing behavior. Sorry is just sorry for the behavior I had, but amends goes deeper. Like I think an amends can be included with. A sorry can be included with an amends, but just a sorry without the amends kind of misses the point of the step.
Yeah, and amends is much more active, especially when we're thinking about it in 12-step land.
Yeah.
Right? There are steps, right? You can apologize to someone. That's not step 9.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like emotional offloading. Like that's one way you can think about it.
It's manipulative, and
well,
we've all done it.
Not all apologies are manipulative.
Yeah, but when you're doing it,
right.
I think for us, when we're doing it, especially when we have somebody that we cause harm, and they probably, like, every time we open our mouth, we were saying sorry because it benefited us, and not because,
Right. And well, let's go back to what I was saying earlier, is that an amends is not about relief. You're not trying to relieve yourself of anything. You're trying to repair something. Mm-hmm. And I like the way you said it too, Louis, which is like, an amends is an apology, but not all apologies are an amends, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same idea, right? Like I can apologize to you and walk away. That's not an amends.
No,
I didn't bridge anything. I just told you I was sorry.
Apologize, and then you go ahead and do the same thing. And I think, with some of us who struggle with recovery and struggle with relapse or whatever, and our goal is, and we, how they say in the book, it was our intention to do better. And it is your intention to do better but it's a disease. It's not a disgrace. And so, when you get to that point, and this is why that giving yourself some time and really, really, really understanding what the harm was so that you can really work at changing the behavior.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, so yeah, that's where, and sorry's fine. Sorry's a nice icing on the top, icing on the cake, because some people need to hear that. But I think the people who love you and who have been on that ride with you, they want to hear, what are you going to do different? Because it's like, you've been showing up the same way.
Right. And there's more to that too, that we'll get to later in the episode, around like what making an amends actually looks like.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But God, I'm just like really agreeing with everything you're saying.
Jordan's got this look on his face like, I don't buy this. I fucking buy this.
The apology being the icing on the cake.
Yeah. But you know what we were talking about before?
What were we talking about?
We were talking about before when I said I needed to kind of have a conversation with a friend of ours. It was simmering. It would not have been good for me to kind of, like, initially I wanted to just call up right away, and I realized I need to sit with this for a bit, and I need to come at it the right way and not just clean it up because I feel like I need to make myself feel better.
Right.
And so you're right. It is not about me absolving myself of it all. It's me acknowledging that I was a hypocrite.
Right.
And it's like I'll be better next time, I hope.
Yeah. And I think the other thing that we learn from step 9 is that it doesn't matter. And we hear this a lot kind of in like social justice oriented spaces, that it's not about like the intentions you had. Like, I didn't intend to hurt you, but it's about the impact of your behavior and having a conversation about that, right? Like when we're making an amends, again, we're going back, it's between people, not just ourselves.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it really doesn't matter like what our intentions were. We could have had, what is it? The road to hell is paved in good intentions.
Absolutely.
Right. Sorry, everyone. I have really bad allergies. Okay. So
Next question.
go ahead.
If you're receiving an amends from somebody, based on what we just talked about, to me, then it sounds like there's some responsibility to like maybe check or like monitor that person's behavior for the given situation.
Monitor whose behavior?
Well, because if you're saying I'm going to do something different and then they don't, right? Then like, I don't know. That for me, that's like, well, was that amends like genuine or what's going on?
I feel like, I'm making a note of that because I think
it's a good point. It's a good point, but no, that's not it. That's
yeah. I'm making a note of it because I don't want to forget it in real time. So a person can make an amends, right? I mean, and I think this goes outside of the question too, is that we can ask for what we want and we can see what we get.
Yeah.
Right? We can listen to what we're told and we can see what actually happens.
Absolutely.
Right? You get to decide who you bring inside and outside of your life. What you're reminding me of is like when there's a falling out between friends or there's a falling out of any type. Sometimes I'll hear the person who's upset say, I need to let them know about themselves, right? And actually, no, you don't.
No, you don't at all.
You don't. You can just disengage.
And I feel like you've had these experiences already. They weren't as official as this, but it's like, when the person's coming towards you with the malarkey or whatever they're saying, whether or not you're going to be open to it. And I think that's the key. It's like, if I'm open to it, I'm going to listen. I'm going to take it in. And because I've had people, didn't even want to hear the amends.
Yeah,
they didn't want to, or they didn't respond. And on the flip side, I've had folks who said, I'd like to make an amends, and I'm not open to it. And that's it. And so if I'm open to it, that means that I'm not going to be checking your progress with a red pen. I'm hopeful that you mean what you say. But I can't do anything otherwise.
Yeah. And so that's a really good segue to a conversation about what an amends is not. Before we do that, there is one other thing that I wanted to say, which is I think within an apology, with step 9, I think one of the things that is contained in it is this idea that we might be uncomfortable, and that's fine. That's one. The other thing that I think step 9 also teaches is that you may try to make an amends, and that other person might not want to hear it. The other thing is that the ninth step also says there are situations when you shouldn't make an amends.
Absolutely.
And you have to take a different course of action. All of those things are very different from just an apology. So what isn't an amends? Louis, what isn't an amends? I feel like since you have the most time, I feel like you probably have a good answer for that.
Well, I feel like we just said it.
Yeah. I'm wondering
but
if
those things, it's like I'm all, I think anything that like, when I'm using my sorries as a way of manipulating you because I feel like I can get something,
right?
Or if I'm trying to shut somebody up, or if I feel like I'm trying to like control somebody, if I'm not trying to change behavior, and if I don't give a shit about the person that I'm doing it for too, that's a big thing.
Say that,
because it's like I need to care enough about you and want to change the behavior. But if I'm going at this and I'm just doing it because I'm people pleasing, or I'm just trying to get through the steps, then that, in some ways it can do more harm to me.
Right. 100%. And the other and in the subtext of that is like, we aren't making an amends to be forgiven. We aren't making an amends to force ourselves into somebody else's life uninvited. Oh, like a couple months ago. Oh, I've talked about this before, where like I had just come back from a return to use, and there was this person that I was like really interested in. And so I called to make an amends, when actually what I was doing was like, this person had a clear boundary, didn't want me in their life. And I was using an amends to essentially re-invite myself into,
absolutely,
and put myself back into his life uninvited. And an amends is not that. Right. Mm. Like if someone's established a boundary with you, I don't want to talk to you, then you're honoring that boundary.
Mm-hmm. And it's not complete.
Excuse me.
An amends is not like a complete, like, absolution.
Mm-hmm.
An amends is not like, okay, you, or what is it? You're forgiven. It does not wipe the slate clean at all.
Mm. That's right. And so what does an amends actually look like? When it comes to the ninth step, what do you typically tell sponsees? Do you have your sponsees like write out the amends and then run it by you?
I prefer that they write letters, like they write it out, and then we can review it beforehand, and it needs to include, like, usually what it is, it's like it's your greeting. If the person that they're talking to doesn't understand the 12 step, they give them a little history. Uh-huh. And then they talk their little history, and they talk about what the fourth step is about. And then they talk about what they believe the harm is that they've done. And then after they talk about that, they talk about the steps that they've already taken and that they intend to take, to change the behavior. And then they wrap it up. This is where everybody gets kind of caught up. They ask the person, is there anything else that you feel I may have done?
Right. And the other part of that too is I make sure to tell sponsees that you only stick to your part.
Oh, absolutely.
You never say, I did this because you did this. Mm-hmm. You only stick to your part. So the other person could have burned your house down.
Absolutely. Those are tough.
Right. I wouldn't have beat your ass if you didn't burn my house down.
And whenever possible, do it in person.
Yeah. The other part too is I also tell sponsees that you don't just get to kind of like thrust a amends onto someone, like you ask for permission. And so there were like 3 parts that I think are more universal than like if people aren't looking at the ninth step as it's written, is that there needs to be some level of consent. So asking someone like, hey, I owe you an apology. Like, would you be open to sitting down with me? The timing, right? So that's also the difference with like an apology. An apology can be any time, but when you're making an amends, you're asking for consent. The timing is really important. And then the last thing is that there needs to be some type of containment around it. Very different from just an apology.
Like a locked room.
Yeah. So the first step would be like, you could reach out to the person and ask
Yeah.
them if they'd be willing to sit down with you or ask for consent.
I forgot that piece. We just show up unannounced.
Yeah.
What you got for me?
Yeah. Knock, knock, knock. I see you're having dinner with your family.
Got some stuff to do.
This will take a minute. I'm sorry for stealing from you. All right, everyone, take care. Right. So you're asking for consent. The timing is really important, right? So and I think part of the timing being important is also creating a space that kind of treats it as sacred, right?
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
like, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm going to show you by virtue of the space I'm creating for us that I really respect you and this is serious for me, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then the last part is containment. It's having a very clear beginning and end.
And the beauty of it is I feel like if they're open to it, that gives it hope,
Right.
because a lot of times they'll shut you down. Yeah, you know what? Wait, save it. It just stay sober, bitch. And so it's like, just keep doing you. I don't need to hear any of that nonsense.
Yeah, which makes me think of the rest of the step that says, except when to do so would injure them or others.
Ooh, let's talk about it.
Right. Yeah.
So who determines that?
Well,
That's the work with the sponsor.
yeah, that's the work with the sponsor, because it's like, we're fortunate we're not married, but say you were in a relationship or whatever, and
We're fortunate.
Yeah, I thought you meant we're fortunate to not be married to you.
No.
Praise God.
Say in a relationship where you own a business or you live with someone, or whatever, and it's a situation where there's money involved, or it's a situation that if I tell the truth, if I tell the truth, because obviously part of behavior would be acknowledging that and maybe paying back. I can't ruin the reputation of a business that I with someone that I'm working with, or I can't put our financial situation in jeopardy to appease my interest. Or if I cheated on you and I'm trying to make myself feel better, so I come and tell you and you have no idea, you don't know about it. Because not every time, then it's it's probably like, okay, you know what? I got to figure out, and I guess the way I make them into never to cheat again.
Right. And part of and in the act of making the amends, right? We're naming the impact, obviously, but there's also kind of there's a commitment to some type of change.
Absolutely.
Right. And that's not what I wanted to say, actually. What I wanted to say is going into making the amends, have zero fucking expectations for the other person.
Absolutely.
Don't expect them to receive you with open arms. Don't expect for them to forgive you.
That's why you'll be surprised, because most of them, what was beautiful is when I came out, it's I was so uplifted. But don't be fooled by that first one, because the first person is great, and then by the time I get to the end, based on my broken down list, by the time I get to the end, it's talk about the ones you can't do because they're no longer with us.
Oh yeah. So one of the things that I wanted to say is that so alongside of acknowledging what you did is the change behavior part. And the change behavior part is especially important when there are people that you can't actually make an amends to, right? Part of what we're doing when we're doing all the 12 steps is we're essentially, to some degree or another, learning how to live differently. And one of the ways of learning how to live differently is to behave differently. And one of the guides to behaving differently is to look back and to see what we did that wasn't working out and the harm that we may have caused, right? And so, I mean, that is the major kind of the goal ultimately, is to create a life that is different from the one that caused harm. And I think some other things is that we should mention before we land the plane is that, excuse me, there are amends that shouldn't be made, right? Sometimes an amends shouldn't be made if it is going to harm the other person, to what Jordan was pointing out in the language of the 9th step. And there are other things there too, is some wounds can't be just repaired with an amends. Some wounds are still too fresh. some conversations shouldn't be had. Sometimes the best amends we can do with some people is just to leave them alone.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes there's harm that's caused that, is still kind of vibrating in that person's life. We have no business
Absolutely
being, but what we can do is we can live differently. And if we run up, they come across our path someday, at least we have something that we can say we did inspired by that situation.
But I like that they say is the goal is to put myself in the best place to be ready to make the amends. I may not be able to make it, but I need to be willing to make it.
Right. So let's land this plane.
So the Castro Country Club is a safe and sober community center for all people, and it's a refuge for the LGBTQ recovery community.
Yes, it's all of those things. And it's also a great place to meet new people. That's actually not in the script. Oh, wow. Okay, well, I know. I was just coughing. We provide programs and services that help change lives by supporting personal growth.
And you know what? Our vision is to reduce the suffering of addiction by connecting people to community, opportunity, and support.
You can find more information, including all the ways to contact us at www.castrocountryclub.org/podcast.
And check out New Mondays. New Mondays.
New Mondays.
Every episode. Check out new episodes every Monday.
We love you.
We love you.
Hopefully
Bye.
Anthony didn't get us sick.
I know. I just have allergies, guys. Let's fucking end this episode.